Why do you have to rename your Git branch to main when you want to push to GitHub for the first time? So that's what I'm going to explain in this video. So I'm going to create a new GitHub repository. I'm going to call it git test, then owner common, then without adding any of those git. So utapata kuna hii this first setup script yenye unapewa that you need to copy and paste in your terminal. So the first one just create a new file called readme.md with the text git test inside of it. Then the second one initializes a git repository, tells git that this is the folder that you need to be tracking, basically. Then now we add that git file, that file that we created. Then we sort of save it with a message. So this color commit. Then notice this command. E command ina maanisha we rename the branch to main. So that means it's something else. Then now we set up the remote URL ile ya GitHub sasa. Then we push. So the reason why we need to rename this to main is by default, the default Git branch, ukicreate a Git repo kwa local machine, the branch name ni master, si main. That's how it used to be even in GitHub. But since 2020, the GitHub, the platforms, GitHub, GitLab, I think Bitbucket, I'm not sure, but they changed from using master as their default branch to using main. So that means before pushing, you need to change your local Git repo to main, then push to GitHub. And even when you create a new Git repo in your local machine, there's a warning that you get that explains this. So I'm going to create a repo in my local machine, then you're going to see. So I'll just open my terminal. Then again, I'll create a repo here. So mkdir git test. And you can call it anything, by the way. So let's demo with a git test. Then I'm going to move inside of it $. So that's how you create and move inside of it. So we don't have to go through that. Nataka tukuonyesha why we need to rename this. So I'm just going straight to initializing this as a git repo. So just do git init. If you do this, this tells Git that this is a Git repo, so you need to track this file. Now, notice this warning. Using master as the main branch, that's as the name for the installation branch. So this shows that the default branch name, initialize a repo like ev ni git ni master, I mean. So ideally, huwezi push from master to main. Lazima push from main to main, or from master to master. So that's why you need to rename it from master to main. Then now we push to main. It makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So they're even saying that they will change this in Git 3.0. So right now we're at Git, I think Git 2.5. So in Git 3.0, this will be automated. So like outer itaji could rename. So it will be main in GitHub and main in the local Git repo. Yeah, so that's the reason why you need to rename, because by default, the branch name ni master. And by the way, you can set this. So this command, you can set this. You can set your Git to always name your main branch as main instead of master. So you just do git config, git config dash global. So global meaning it affects the entire Git. So every time you create Git, it will affect global. Then init.default branch. I think ni kitu kama hii main. Yeah, so is it default branch name or default branch? I don't know. You can confirm. So when you run this will tell Git that every time I create a new repo, it needs to be called main, see master. Then now you will not have to git branch -m every time. Yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that explains why that is done that way. Thank you.